Good morning. This is my lockdown testimony. Well, when lockdown started, like everybody else, I thought it would just be for a few weeks, not realising it'd be for months. And I'm sure, as I've heard everybody else saying how busy we'd been, and you're not aware that you've been busy. Busy being busy. Busy working, helping the church, and even look after a home, and you're suddenly aware, was I too busy? So I had to stop and reflect and take stock of what I was doing and what I was going to do when we came out of this lockdown. That was the first thing I would say. I started to clear out cupboards like everybody else, catch up with things you never have time to do. I even painted my garden fence, and it was good because at first I thought, I don't know if I can do this, but I did. So it gave me confidence to know, yes, I'll manage fine on my own. So that was good. Everybody been talking about Pete Greig, Book and Prayer, so I started to read it as well. And that led to Richard Foster's book, Celebration of Disciplines, and I thought, what are the disciplines? Do I really know them? And I'm still reading that one, slowly. And I suppose they're connected because I realised that when we come out of lockdown, I don't want to be busy again. I want to serve the Lord. I want to do something because I'll be retired by then. And you know what they say, you can retire from work, but you do never retire from the Lord's service. So I do want to do something, but I want to next time pause, pray, ask the Lord, and then, what do you want me to do? Then I say yes. So that's one thing I've learned. The other thing I've learned is that I'm not lonely anymore. A good while before lockdown, Andrew had been at home, and he was away weekends with his church, visiting Lindsay, going away holidays with Lindsay and her family. So many times I was gradually learning to live alone. Even though I didn't realise it, it was as if the Lord was preparing me for this. Through Andrew being there, it was good, but then gradually he was away more and more. And I remember one time when he was away and I was going up the stairs and I realised I'm not lonely anymore. The Lord had taken that away. I don't have that feeling of loneliness. I can't say that I feel His presence all the time because I don't. But I believe He's there. And I could talk to Him anytime because there's only me here, so I can pray when I do the dishes, when I go walking. I can just pray anytime. I'm also learning to live in silence and solitude. When Andrew left, moved out just a week before lockdown, and all of a sudden, you're on your own. And as you know, listening to the news was kind of overwhelming, so you had to limit what you were listening to be wise. So as I had silence more often, and then with Andrew not being here, I was in solitude. I haven't even got to that chapter in the book yet, but I'm learning to experience it. Maybe not quite the same as the book is, but I'm learning to enjoy the silence, to value the silence. And solitude, well, although I'm on my own, I'm not lonely because I have family, keep in touch, I have church family, and I have friends and colleagues. So I'm lonely but not alone. Strange, but good. So that's the second thing. I'm learning to live a new kind of normal. I'm learning to live and be prepared for when we come out of lockdown. So my last thing I would say that I learned through this was in July, I was doing my wee devotional and it was about Abraham and Lot. You know the story where they're going to separate and Lot picks the good land, it looks good. And Abraham turned and looked at the other land and the Lord said, look Abraham, look out of this land, walk it, traverse it, because I'm going to give this to your family, to you and your children's children. And as I was reading this and thinking about it, you know how you just have an impression as if the Lord's saying something to you, and I had this impression, he's saying, Marilyn, look up and look out. You see, I didn't need to look inward anymore because, would you say I'm healed? I'm better. I am learning to live a new kind of normal. But with that in mind, I have to look up and look out. So now, when you hear of the things that are happening around you in the world, you look up and you look out and you say, Lord, and you pray, because sometimes that's all you can do is pray. Though I shouldn't say all you can do, because that's the most important thing you can do is pray. But then you've not just to pray at a situation, you just say, Lord, what can I do? What is happening? Who can I help? What do you want me to do? And I suppose that links back to the beginning of my lockdown testimony about prayer. So that my busyness is going to be of value. What I have to do is what he wants me to do. So when I come out of lockdown, which we're beginning to now, I have to pause, I have to pray, and I have to ask. I have to look up and look out and say, what do you want me to do? What do you want me as part of the church to do? And how can I help? So that's my lockdown testimony.